I always wanted to be a horror writer. It started with tearing through 60 Goosebumps books in elementary school, then moving on to Christopher Pike, Stephen King, and Dean Koontz. At first, my parents were thrilled I was reading at all. But when my mom realized what I was reading, she grew concerned. "You're going to give yourself nightmares," she warned. I laughed. Nothing scared me. Pennywise, Randall Flagg, they were just cartoons to me. At some point, I realized that if I wanted to experience true fear, I'd have to create it myself. I spent years writing, imitating my idols, filling pages with garbage. It wasn't until college that my stories started feeling real. Then in my senior year, I finally wrote one I was proud of, about a scientist on a space station, stranded with no food. Rescue was years away. He calculated he could survive. If he ate the rest of the crew, I was eager to share it. So I emailed it to my girlfriend and rushed to her place to hear her reaction. But when I arrived, she was crying. "I can't even look at you," she sobbed. "There's something wrong with you." I told her to relax. It was just a story. She screamed at me to get out. Losing her hurt, but it didn't shake my confidence in the story. I submitted it to magazines. No responses. Maybe it wasn't scary enough. Doubt crept in. Maybe I was broken. Maybe I didn't understand fear like other people. Maybe I should stop writing altogether. Then, one night, I woke up to something heavy on my chest. A shadow sat there, shifting in the darkness. "You're close," it whispered. "Don't stop now." I gasped awake, heart hammering. I took it as a sign. The next morning, I started a new story. This one was different. It felt like something was guiding me, curling its fingers around mine as I typed. I blinked, and suddenly, it was done. Thousands of words. I scrolled up to read it, and for the first time in my life, I felt it. Real, suffocating terror. My pulse pounded, my hands trembled. I slammed my laptop shut. This was it. The scariest story ever written. I nearly posted it online, but hesitated. Maybe I should get some feedback first. That afternoon, I printed a few copies and took them to my parents' house. They exchanged an uneasy glance, but agreed to read it separately in their studies. I waited downstairs, imagining their pride when they realized their son had written something truly remarkable. Then, shattering glass. A sickening thump. I ran outside. My mother's body lay twisted on the pavement, surrounded by shattered glass and fluttering pages of my manuscript. I barely had time to react before I heard movement above. My father stood at the broken window, shaking, tears streaming down his face. He picked up a shard of glass, pressed it to his throat, and sliced. I watched, frozen, as he crumpled forward, crashing onto my mother's body. I should have been horrified, but compared to the story, their deaths were bearable. A blood-streaked page fluttered toward me, sticking to my chest. I peeled it off with trembling fingers and read a single sentence. A chill spread through me. My whole body convulsed. The words were looking at me, digging into something deep and rotten inside. I felt them crawling through me, sinking into my bones. I knew if I read another line, I'd feel it too. The same inescapable pull. I'd walk upstairs, step to the window, and let go. That was weeks ago. Since then, I've been debating what to do. If I publish it, the world will finally recognize my talent. Maybe I'll get calls from King, Pike, Stein, my idols, begging me to write more. Or maybe more people will end up like my parents. But the real reason I haven't posted it? The risk. The risk that I might accidentally read a single line and feel it all over again. That darkness bubbling up from somewhere deep and unknowable. I thought I wanted this. I thought I wanted fear. But now that I've found it, I don't think I'll survive it. I'm using my mom's laptop now. I can't even look at the computer that holds the story. but I know I can't leave it sitting there forever, unread. That would be like locking the Mona Lisa in a basement, keeping it away from the world, wouldn't it?